All right, we got Mike, hot Mike. Okay, welcome back, you guys. As you can see, the engine stand is empty. Yeah, we got some new goodies. Got some long tube headers, specifically made for the Trailblazer SS, and these are made by Speed Engineering. So we're gonna be throwing those in there too. We actually got the catless Y pipe with it. So we're going to be deleting the cats because this will be a track only, off-road only vehicle. So today, if you saw the last video, we completely rebuilt the LS2 out of my buddy's Trailblazer SS. It's an 08, so it's a Gen 4. We added a cam, added the sloppy stage 2 cam, new LS7 lifters, genuine GM LS7 lifters. We did a rocker arm trunnion upgrade. We added ARP bolts, head bolts, and yeah, all new bearings, all new seals, all new main and rod bolts, the works. So this thing's ready to go back in, and so that's what I'm going to be doing. Let's go over here and yeah, oh, that thing didn't want to follow me that time, so let's go over here and take a look. She's just kind of sitting on the hoist here. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, she's sitting there ready to go in. I got the upper ball joints out of the way so that way I can put the differential back in once I get it low enough. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. Yeah, let's get right to it, you guys. Stick around. Yeah, let's do it. Still recording. 44 minutes. Woo! Okay, well, she's in. Let's check it out. All right, she's in place. Motor mounts are down in their holes. Transmission is seated. I like these because in here, let me see, there's a little flap, and you can see if the transmission's in, if the dowel pins on the transmission are in, and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Also, you can get to the starter from there. That's cool too. But yeah, she's in there. She went in kind of smoothly. I was not expecting that. Actually, I was, because I have somebody watching over me, and I asked him to guide me and let everything go smooth. So yeah, that worked. So just got to get the motor mounts bolted, transmission bolted up, and get that differential in there. Get the axle in the differential and whatnot. So I'm gonna do that. Yep. Got the differentials in there. Bolts all in. That was a lot simpler than I thought it would be. As long as you put the axle shaft in the oil pan before you lower the engine all the way down, then once your upper ball joints are laid down to the side, you can move the actuator out of the way and the differential out of the way a little bit, set the engine where it needs to go, and then once you get the differential side up into that, then you can push that axle shaft into the splines all the way in. And once it's all the way in, it only sticks out about this far on the other side, and then you can get that actuator in there and match up the splines and then just bolt them together. So super easy. I was happy about that because that thing was a pain in the butt to take apart, but it's going together a little smoother than it was coming out. So anyways, now I'm going to get the torque converter bolts in place. Actually, I might as well, I think I'm going to get the transmission bolts on there and tightened up, and then I'll do the torque converter bolts. That way I can make sure it's seated and whatnot. And yeah, we are rocking and rolling. I'm not going to film too much of that because it's just, you're just going to see me climbing all over this thing and whatnot, and we'll just keep this video a little shorter so that way we can show more of the startup and running and tuning and, you know, all the fancy LS2 cam noises that's going to happen with this thing. So I'm going to do that real quick and then we'll come back to you. Okay, changed my mind. It's a little bit loud out here, but I figure I filmed this part. I'm just getting the transmission bolts in, and it looks like I'm able to reach all of them. I've already got 2 in on the sides. I still have to tighten those, but yeah, it looks like I'm able to reach in and tighten all of them. I wasn't able to get them out through the top last time because of the exhaust was in the way, but I'm putting long tubes on this after I'm done here, so there's no exhaust on it right now, so which is awesome. It's just kind of precarious and crampy. So oh, no, where'd it go? Stopped right there. Gotcha. I see it. All right, let's see if I can get this guy tightened. Yeah, there's a bolt. Yeah. There we go. We're doing it. I don't know if you can hear me. I can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm doing something. Oh yeah, it's tight. I was doing the right thing. Doing it the right way. Okay, hold on. Oh, it seems to have lost the bolt. Okay. Oh, my leg, my right thigh is cramping up. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Okay, next. Okay, where's she at? Right there. There she is. So I can get this wrench in there. That'd be cool. My goodness. Get on there. Okay. And another one. Let's get this last one. Oh, the last top one. Now I gotta put that 13 mil nut on there because that one holds the transmission dipstick. So let's go. Oh, that one's already got a wrench on it. Oh, I can get to that one through the side there. Looks like. Yeah. I can do that through the side. Yeah, okay. Okay, the top ones are done. The next ones, I'm getting that through the side. So bear with me here while I climb my old man ass down here. I'm not even that old. I've just been doing this since I was 15, so my body's like an old man body. Ah! Oh, I'm dying. Nope. Okay, I'm good to go. Let's get you guys down here. Maybe not. Hang tight and get them side bolts. Okay, let me get back up here now. Hold on. Yeah. 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 Okay. Man. Okay, I got this side bolt tightened. The one with the stud on the end, so that I can mount this transmission dipstick tube to it. There we go. That's perfection. Perfection right there. Where's that nut? Right here. That's the nut. I'm glad I can reach all this, but I'm not a contortionist, so this hurts a bit, but I think I'll be okay. Okay, that nut's on there. And this nut is on here. Okay. I'm dying. I'm dying, you guys. I'm dying inside. Okay. Friggin'. Let's get it. Okay, nope. Socket wrench not gonna do it. I gotta grab my other long swivel head. Ratcheting wrenches. Hold on. I'm climbing down. Okay. Put a comment down below if you guys prefer metric over standard. I prefer metric because it's easy. 13 is bigger than 12. 12 is smaller than 15. So, when it comes to standard sizes, the 3/8 and 7/16 and 5/16 and the 11/64 and that confuses my little brain. So I prefer metric. So comment down below which one you prefer. Yeah. Okay, come on. Alright, there's a little flap down here on the inner fender well that allows you to see. I showed you earlier. Yeah, you can see the starter. You can probably get, actually I could probably get to the torque converter bolts as well, which is pretty cool. Hold on, bear with me, guys. Need some water or something. Getting a little parched. Okay. Come on. This is a 1,000-mile long bolt when you're turning it 1/16 of an inch each time. There, man. We're there. We are there. Tighten. 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 Okay. That'll do. And that'll do. And that'll do. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going to go underneath, tighten the rest of the bolts, and we'll be back. All right. So, starter's on. Flex plate bolts are on and torqued. The dust covers are on. All the transmission bolts are bolted. The motor mounts, I still got to get the nuts on the bottom side of those. Let's see. I think next step, I'm going to tighten these upper ball joints, put the wheels back on. That way I can lift this thing up a little bit higher. I got some ramps that I can jack it up and put on the ramps. That way I got a little bit more room to get down underneath there. But as far as that, I think that's pretty much it for the bottom side. I did take off the steering rack cross member. Is way back there for some reason. I don't know how it got so far behind me, but yeah, I'm gonna lift it up more before I put that guy on there. Then I think after I do that, I'm gonna get this bottom side harness down in there connected. That way I can be done with the underneath side of this thing. Looks like we might be getting a little rain here. I had a canopy, but it decided it wanted to try and blow away, and the top of it kind of shredded itself, so that's no use no more. But yeah, so we get these wheels on here and lift her up a little bit. Now we can get them battery cable and stuff, all the stuff that goes around the underside can go around the underside, and yeah, anyways, let's do that. All right, guys, I've cleaned up in here a little bit. It's been raining for the last couple days, so I haven't really done a whole lot. Hey, see all the wetness in the water. I got the wheels on, got the ball joints put back together nice and tidy, and you know, found out that this tire had 95 psi of pressure in it, and looks like a band let go on this side because there is a giant bulge all the way around the outer side of the tire. So that's cool. I like things like that happening. I got all the, hold on, what's this? Came off my roof. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, that's water down my sleeve. Okay. Anyways, I got the wires going down below. Starter's hooked up. All the connections down below are connected. And now I think I'm going to try and get the headers in there before I do anything else. Once the rain goes away. But, you know, in a few months. Because I live in Washington. And it's going to be raining for the next few days, I think. So I've been working on trying to figure out how to tune this PCM, because this is an 08, not an 06. I don't know if that matters PCM wise, but the PCM that it came with is an E67, which is a GM Performance ECM, not PCM, because it only controls the engine, I think. I don't know. I'm learning about that. Gen 4 stuff sucks when it comes to tuning. I've learned that much. Basically, the easiest way to do it is with HP tuners or EFI Live, but it costs, you know, $600 to do that if you want to buy the thing yourself and tune it yourself. And then once you buy the thing, you got to license the VIN and do all that weird stuff instead of, and then you got to pay credits for each tune that you do. And it's just, why? I think I'm going to stick to Gen 3 stuff from now on, because I can tune those for free. Absolutely free. 100%. Well, maybe not 100%, but, you got to get the OBD2 connector, and then I guess you don't have to have a bench harness, but I have a bench harness that I use to tune it, and a friggin' laptop, and that's it. I don't need to buy a friggin' $600 tuner connector and pay credits every time I want to write a tune. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna see if I could borrow an HP Tuners thing and just pay somebody for their credits, and we'll do it that way. We'll just do once. That way I could start this thing up. I just want to make a startup tune, which I've already done. I just want to make a startup tune so that we could start this thing up and break it in properly. It doesn't have to do more than idle, right, and good, and start up fine. I could start it up with no tune, but it's not going to run good at all. It might die a couple times, and that's not good when you're trying to break in new piston rings and new bearings and stuff. You don't want to be starting and stopping this thing and flooding the cylinder walls with fuel. And I want the piston rings to seat the first time it starts up. The bearings, all that needs to be good. Oil pressure. We don't want to start and stop this thing over and over. So having that base startup tune to where it will idle and it'll stay running until you can put that first heat cycle in it is essential to any new engine build. So that's why I'm already tired of searching things for Gen 4 PCMs. So after this, I'm either going to buy HP tuners and charge more for my rebuilds because of that, or I'll just stick with Gen 3 stuff. It's just so much simpler, and I already know how to do it. This thing wouldn't be running by now. Well, maybe not, but actually, yes, it would have, because I have a harness. I would have fired it up outside before I even put the thing in there. Anyways, getting worked up over here. Losing my cool. And there's more rain coming right now. Right now, as we speak. Right now. That's okay. The earth needed watered. It's been sunny for too long, I guess. Everyone needs to be depressed for a little bit from the clouds. So, anyways, that's what I'm dealing with. Yeah, can't really do much in the rain. I'm thinking about, and this is a great idea, so I'm thinking about moving this workbench to this back wall here. Moving the shelf. I could probably keep one of the shelves where they're at, scoot it over, move the workbench here, tools here, or something like that. Get this stuff out of the way. That way I can pull something into here and just work on it right here. Engine bay right here. Hood. I don't know if the hood will open. I mean, it might a little bit. But jacking it up and getting the hood open. That's a different thing. Anyways. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I might do that while I wait for the rain to subside. There's those headers there. Beautiful headers. I can't wait to hear this thing run. I know it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And then we get to take it to the tuners. Anyways, we'll come back when the rain stops. So, yeah. Stick around. For you, it'll be like that. After this video's done, then we'll be working again. But for me, it'll probably be a few days. Anyways, stick around, you guys. All right. Wait, what happened there? Okay, we're back. The sun is a-shining today, so we're gonna throw some spark plugs in this bad boy and see if we can get them headers in there as well. So, I heard that you might have to jack it up a little bit, jack the engine up a couple inches, which is fine. I left the motor mounts unbolted for that very purpose. Driver's side looks like we might be able to go from underneath, slide her up in there, maybe. Or, sorry, passenger side. Driver's side looks a little bit tighter because there's a drive shaft and a steering shaft. So, we might have to do a little finagling down. I'm going to grab some spark plugs real quick. Got some NGKs, TR55s. These are just regular copper core. They don't last as long as your iridium spark plugs, but these are very good. And I like them a lot. So we're just going to throw these in. Let's get all these out. Get them tightened up. a little torque it on them. So I wasn't able to find a way to tune this PCM or ECM for free, only because it's completely different from the P01s and the P59s. So there hasn't really been any XDF files made for it. And because of that, I'm not able to tune it with Tuner Pro. At least not able to tune the parameters that I need to tune. So what we're gonna have to do is just borrow somebody's HP tuner and pay $200 for credits to read the bin or read the file and then reflash the file after we're done. This back one's being a horse's ass. I can't get my arm in there, my right arm, my left arm at least. Come on, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. There it is. Yeah, that sun is nice. It was cold and crappy all day yesterday. For like 3 or 4 days. And just cloudy and gray and depressing. Alright, let's do the other side. I'm going to have to climb up in here and actually take a seat right there. Actually, you know what? Let me move this out of the way here. If I can. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you just go wherever you want to go. It's alright. There we go. We're there, man. If any of you know where that movie, or what movie that saying came from, comment down below. We're there, man. It's one of the greatest movies ever made, by the way. Okay, that one's in. Let's get these tightened. Oops. This, oh, hey. Oh, that's busted. What is happening here? This coolant temp sensor plug is busted. Busted. Oh, that sucks. Oh, it's off in there. Hold on, guys. Oh. Darn. Okay. Well, I'll have to... Oh, you know what? I can just grab a plug off of one of the stock harnesses I have. Crisis averted. Okay. Trash. Tighten these puppies down. Yep, 14 foot pounds. Exactly. There was a tornado here yesterday. Possibly. Blew the roof off of a couple of buildings right down the road. So that's interesting. We don't usually get tornadoes up here in Washington. not Washington, D.C., or Washington State, so West Coast. We're about an hour and a half from the coastline. Okay, those are tight. Now, let me make sure everything underneath is connected and good to go. I'm pretty sure it is. Got the starter connected in there. Differentials are on. I think the only thing I have left to do down there is put that steering rack cross member on, but I'm gonna wait on that. So yeah, I gotta switch out that connector for the coolant temp sensor. Yeah, let's see if we can't get these headers in here. I'm gonna try the passenger, the driver's side first, just because it looks a little bit harder than the other side. So let me grab that header. We'll be right back. All right, here goes nothing. Let's see if we can slip it in there. We're hitting the master cylinder here. Let me get a jack under this engine here. See if we can create some more space here. Floor jack on an uneven concrete surface is the loudest sound known to man. Dripped on by something. Okay, she's up about an inch. Let's see what we can do with that. Oh, now. Fudge. Hold on. Gotta go down just a tiny bit. Just a little bit. Oh, that's where all the water comes from. It's being held in place. Now, what's going on here? We're moving. We're moving. Going downwards. Slowly but surely. I have to climb up on here. Okay, let's see here. Get my feet in the good position there. Not much to step on right here. Yeah. She's going. She's going. Get this wires out of the way. I believe she'll go some more. Hitting the head bolts and the friggin' spark plugs I just put in. So, hold on. My mic's falling off of me. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. Up and over. Over and out. Up, over and out. And over and up and off. I don't really have no leverage right here. pop down underneath, see what's going on. Bear with me. I have to take my sweatshirt off. We did have a freeze warning this morning. That's how cold it was. Oh, yeah, that's kind of shoving on the heat shield here. Man, how the heck am I supposed to get this in here? I have to disconnect the front drive shaft. I gotta go back up. Back upwards. Okay. Coming out. Yeah, come back out. Boop. Okay, I'll just set that right there. Oh, don't do that. Yep. Sweatshirt's coming off. I pop that front drive shaft loose. It's either a 10 or an 11. Okay. Yep, bleeding. Okay, we're alright. What even was that? Anyways, let's see if we can get him in there now. In the interest of not making this a 2-hour-long video, it's already been 40 minutes. I'm gonna get that in there, come back to you, show you, tell you how I did it. So. Okay, so I feel like an idiot. Took that out, right? Took the driver's side header out, and I was like, oh, I wonder if it'll just go in from the bottom. Slid right up in there with no problem. So yeah, so driver's side's in. I just got to get the gasket and the bolts in there, and that one's on. So let's do the passenger side. All right, passenger side installed, torque down. I didn't bother filming it because there's not really much to watch. I just shoved it up through the underside and bolted it down. So both of them are in there. The catless Y pipe is in there as well. As you can see, looks pretty good. We're just using the clamps. We got lap joint clamps from the headers to the Y pipe, and then in between the sectional Y pipe, they're just some single bolt clamps, which I don't really trust too much. The one in the middle seems fine, but the one of them's on a curve, so it doesn't really tighten that much. If anything, I think that one's gonna leak right there, the one that's on the curve going up back to the muffler. I suspect that one might leak a little bit, and if it does, then I'll take that clamp off and just weld it all the way around, and then yeah, and if any other ones leak, then we'll probably just end up going with V bands. Yep, that'll do that. I gotta bolt the motor mounts down still. Now I can do that, and then we'll throw the intake on, water pump, alternator, and then we'll plug everything in, get the radiator in, get some coolant, get the air box in, and just finish up. So we're getting close, almost done. So I wasn't able to, I don't know if I said this already, but I wasn't able to find a way to tune the E67 for free. So I'll just borrow HP tuners from a friend, pay for some credits, which is going to be about $200, I believe, which sucks, but you know, you got to pay to play. So anyways, let's get to it. Yeah, I need a lift. I need a lift and a shop. Oh, yeah. Which brings me to my next statement. If you guys want to support the channel so that I can do more stuff like this and, you know, other things, go to www.blswapshop.myshopify.com. I've got merch. We've got shirts. And, well, basically, just shirts for now. And I do have a small collection of, like, LS swap radiators, aluminum radiators. We got some engine building tools. We got, you know, cheap wire harnesses for LS swaps and stuff like that. We got, you know, 102 millimeter throttle bodies, intakes. We got cheap headers and stuff like that. So if you want to support the channel, so I can keep bringing you guys more awesome content, then go check that out. I'll put a link in the description so you can follow that. And yeah, I'd really appreciate it. Pick up a shirt or something like that, and yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, those two are in. Let's do the other side. Okay, we're here at the other side now. And this one is basically the same thing. There's a CB axle in the way. So, this one ain't as dirty though. I can get to it. That one's back in there. Let me show you if I can real quick, just the clearance on this this drive shaft and the dealy bob. The dealy bob, the friggin' headers. What are you talking about? Yeah, I can't even get my finger in there. It's pretty tight. But like I said, the differential is mounted to the engine. Here's one of the bolts for it. This is the oil pan. Here's a bolt. It is not mounted to the frame at all. So when this thing twists from the torque or, you know, something like that, so will this, and so will the headers. So these will move at exactly the same time, and you know, should the amount of movement that this has will not, you know, it won't be too much so that this bangs into that, because the transfer case, actually, you know what, the transfer case will move as well. So that should be good there. Be all right. We got that O2 plugged in. I gotta plug the other one in up top. We gotta get this cross member back. There's a cross member that goes here, and it's sitting back behind me somewhere right there. So let's grab that, throw that on there. I believe the bolts are on my rolly chair somewhere, so we'll be right back. Okay, got the bolts. These big old boys here. I think these are 22 mil. Yes, sir. Or wait, that felt kind of loose. 21. Yeah, 21. Sorry, not 22s. Silly. 22 mils, and then I think some 15s. Yep. Okay, two 22s and three 15s on each side. One of the 15s is longer than the rest of them. So I don't know which one though. Doesn't look like any of them should be longer. Right next to my ear. Let's go. Oh, it's like a trumpet. Okay. Bottom side is done. We're done with the bottom, you guys. We're done. Can you see me? Yeah, you can see me. Cool. We are done with the bottom. Let's go up top. Okay. It's getting late. My camera's gonna die. I can't see anything else. I don't have a light out here. My light's dead. I was gonna throw the dipstick in, take the valve covers off, and prime the oil system, but I'm gonna do that tomorrow when I can see everything and make sure I can see leaks and stuff like that. So that's it for tonight. I will see you in the morning. All right, it ain't bright and early, but it is bright, and it is the morning. So got the dipstick on there already. We're just gonna throw everything back together, I guess. So, you know, yeah. Actually, what I'm gonna do right now is prime the oiling system. You don't have to do it seconds before you start the thing up, just, you know, within the same day. So I'm going to do that, pop the valve covers off, make sure we're getting oil up to the lifters, or up to the rocker arms, sorry. So that, yeah, that way we know we got oil all throughout the system. And then I'm going to finish throwing it together. I'll put the intake on, the alternator bracket, and the alternator power steering. We'll put the everything, pretty much everything is going back together today, and we'll probably fire it up by the end of the day. So let's get rocking on that. We're burning daylight, so let's get it going. Okay, so if I can do this while you guys are sitting there. So first thing you gotta do, there's a little plug right here, and that's right after the oil pump. So I pop this plug out. After that, jeez, it was tight. I really scooted her on there when I put it back in. Here's what that little plug looks like. Pop that off. Man, still got a little tickle in my throat. It's been like 2 weeks and still got it. So this is my priming setup here. Basically, this threads right into that spot where I just took that plug out of. This is a hand pump. It supplies plenty of pressure to get oil up to the rocker arms. This is not super clean. It was. I cleaned it out, and now I have 2 quarts of Valvoline VR1 10W30 in here, which is what we're going to be filling the rest of the oil with. But I'll pump in about 2 quarts of this into the engine until I see oil up at the rocker arms, and yeah, and then that's about it. And then we'll just dump the rest of it into the oil pan. So let's do that real quick. I got to pop these valve covers off first. Okay, let's get these valve covers off of here. Just fit in here. Probably can put this thing on the ground now. Make this a little bit easier. Oh, come on. Okay. Well, we'll get what we can. Okay. The rest is going to be hand tools. Only. Bloop. Over here on my tippy toes. I'll never do that. I'm 6'2", man. Come on. I need to get this thing off these ramps. Why do I still have it on ramps? Just in case I need to get under there. That's why. So I guess we'll deal with it for now. Out. 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 Cut this cover off. Oh, the gasket wants to stay there. That's okay, I guess. You can just stay right there. Okay. These guys are blocked by the AC weird loop. Put in AC. Still not sure why they did that. This weird loop that they put in, it literally just goes boop, comes around, and comes in here. Instead of going up and straight in. I don't know. I'm not an AC expert, so I don't know what the purpose of that would be. Instead of just doing the straight with a flexible piece right here. No idea. You needed a certain length of line, or I don't see why that would matter. Okay, well there goes that tool. Sitting right on top of the headers, I can see it. Let me grab that real quick. Back to it. Hand tools. A waste of time. I'm just joking. You guys, calm down. It's just a joke. Hand tools are important. You don't destroy anything. I know. But those people that say that you should never use hand tools or power tools on an engine or on motorcycle engine bolts or stuff like that. No. If you're trigger happy and you like to squeeze the trigger as hard as you can always, then yeah, don't use power tools on engines or anything. But you know, you can always learn some trigger control, so that way you don't destroy stuff when you use power tools. It's still quicker than using hand tools. Just gotta feather the trigger. Feather it. Just gotta feather it lightly instead of just machine gun. It's not a machine gun, you guys. We're not trying to kill the bolts. We're just trying to get them loose in a quick manner. This gasket wants to come with, and some of it does not, so we're just going to take it. Anyways, I picked up yesterday I dropped off the drive shafts for the Jeep. I don't know if you've seen any of those videos or not, but did a 5.3 swap, an aluminum 5.3 swap on a 94 Jeep Wrangler. We kept the AX15 transmission 5-speed in it, and yeah, the motor mounts and the bell housing used pushed the transmission forward about 2 inches, so we got to get the drive shafts modified. And took them to the shop yesterday, and they were done in about 4 or 5 hours. Picked them up this morning and threw them on there and took it for a rip, and now yeah, runs good. I can get the exhaust done now because it is 4-wheel drive, and there is now 2 banks of exhaust pipes that might interfere with the front drive shafts, but they don't, so I just got to make the exhaust go around it and do some magic. Okay, so those are off. Now we're gonna hook up our pump and get to pumping. Not yet. Not yet. Slow down. Okay, so this is kind of an awkward position here. Okay, Let's get a wrench on that. Tighten her up so she don't leak. Gotta wrench around. Wrench it off. Wrench it on. In this case. Squeeze. That should be good. Alright. Now, we can just start pumping away. Let me see if you can see anything. Let's do it. All you gotta do is pump. Yep, see, we're getting oil. Getting oil in there. There we go. We're pumping. I can hear it pushing air through. Let me take my mic off so you guys can hear this. Hold on. Hope you can hear that. It's pushing all the air out of the oil passageways and up through the push rod tubes, or the push rods and whatnot. So should start to see oil pretty soon. I'm gonna make a TikTok video real quick, so while we do this. So once you start to get, oh, that thing's leaking here. The seal on that's not very good, apparently. So, and you grab paper towel. That's the downside of cheap hand pumps. They weren't made for, you know, the kind of pressure we're seeing apparently. So it's gonna leak a little bit, but not a big deal. I think as long as we go slow with it. Been thinking about buying a little oil transfer pump, like an electric one. Just hook right up to the battery and have a tube and a jug like this, and then you just have it pump until you see it. And yeah, so anyways, we're gonna keep going. Just keep an eye on this here. Make sure we're not pumping out too much. Yeah, they're coming out still, so that O-ring's probably needs to be upgraded. So it's only leaking right here when it comes up, so that's a good sign. I don't see any oil at the rocker arms, but let's turn this engine over a little bit. A couple turns, few turns there. Oh yeah, we got spark plugs in there now too, so this is gonna be a little tough. Ooh, lots of compression. Okay. Yeah, bring this back up. See if we can get some oilage. Come on. Okay, so I think this pump has gone kaput, but it's hard to press, so there's oil pressure, and at least we know that most of the air came out of the system, and so when we fire it up, there'll be oil in the galleries, and yeah, it won't be a dry start. So there's oil all up through here. Try again real quick. Yeah, I think that's all it's going to do. So this thing doesn't supply enough pressure. Anyways, so now what we can do, disconnect that, And yeah, I guess there was a little bit of oil came up, but yeah, I trust it. So I'm gonna get this disconnected, make sure there's no bottom side leaks. No, oil filter's on good. Okay, we're good to go. Let me get this out of there. She's gonna leak a little bit down at the connection there. That's all right. Just put this below it so we don't get too much oil all over everything. Yeah. Okay. So we didn't leak a whole lot. Just put my thumb over that hole so I could get the plug in there. Let's tighten her down. That should be good. Okay. Okay, plug is reinstalled. Let's clean up the little mess we made here. Only a couple drops. A couple of dribbles. That's good. That's good. Alright. Okay, so this can now be put aside. Get these valve covers back on here. And yeah. Yep. Valve covers back on. I'm gonna scoot you back so I have room. Actually, screw it. I got room. I got room for days. This might be a little pain in the butt because these covers seem to have shrank a tiny bit. Get the intake on there now. I can pull these paper towels. Doop, doop, dee doop. Oh, I'm gonna rip them. Okay, so when it comes to LS style intake gaskets, I'm gonna recommend that you get these, or this style, the metal, not the ones that clip onto the intake. I mean, they work, but these are a bit better. These ones actually clip onto the head bolts right here. Boop. And these even work with the ARP bolts as well. But, hold on, yeah. I might have to bend these tabs a little bit just to get it in the right spot. But these ones, I believe, seat a bit better. There we go. That did it right there. Yeah, so come on. There we go. Just got to make sure these tabs are not at a 90 degrees. They need to be about 45. So just bend them. Otherwise they'll sit too high and they won't seat right there. And now you're probably saying, you know what? I'll just go with the ones that clip on the intake. I get it. tried to explain why these are better, but it seems, see, there we go. Now they're at a 45. Now they'll sit down low enough. There we go, that's perfect. Those are perfection. Okay, so the reason I like those is because they sit on that just fine. And then what I like to do is just give them a little squirt of WD-40. That way the intake just slides right on there. I'm out of WD-40, so. And then just spread it on there. That way when you put the intake down and tighten it down, it doesn't like move this into a spot it's not supposed to be. It'll just kind of slide right in place and lock down. That's how I do it anyways. You don't have to, I guess, but I found that they do move a little bit when you're pushing them down, torquing them down. And yes, I do torque my intake manifolds on here, even if it is just a little bit of torque. So let's grab the intake. Before you throw your intake on here, make sure all your connections are made behind it, like the O2 sensors. There's plugs down there that you can get to, and the oil pressure sensor, and also this guy here. If you're reusing your purge, your evap stuff, then this can go back on there before the intake goes on. That way I don't have to fiddle with it, try and reach around that intake, and it's just a pain in the butt. So I'm going to do that now while the intake is out of the way, which it just clips onto this tube right here. And then get on there all the way. Is it on? I think it's on. Yeah, I think it's on there. That's pretty good. Okay, so now you just turn that out of the way, and the fuel line and whatnot. And that's really the only connections that are back here is this oil pressure sensor, O2 sensors, and then fuel line, purge line, your evap solenoid, whatever it's called. I don't know. I always rip those off and don't ever think about it again. But we're reusing it on this one, so yeah. Also, yeah, no, that should be good. Let's grab the intake. Ooh. Oh, that ain't good. That'll cause a vacuum leak. We'll replace that real quick with some tubage. Looks like 3/8 or 5/16. 5/16 tube. Then we'll grab some tools to snug this intake down with. Ah! Hey! I think my mic's gonna die, so we're gonna cut it off here real quick. voila, she is complete. Got the face on. I think the only thing to put on is the cover of the engine, but I'm gonna I got the fuel pump relay pulled and I got the coils unplugged as well, so I'm gonna just crank it over for a few times and then just so that oil circulates a little bit, and then we'll see what happens, and then we'll try and fire it up. So yeah, anyways, let's do that. Ooh, sparky. Alright, we have power. I'm gonna give her a crank or two and we'll see what happens. Windows down. Just build a little oil pressure. Okay, I'm gonna let that be. Now we hit the old free oil pump. Wait, where did this go? Right here? Yeah, right here. Then we can plug in the coils. Give her the old fire up. Pretty sure there's no vacuum leakage. Compression sounds good though. Okay. Here we go, you guys. Moment of truth. Let's fire it up. Ready? Okay. Well, that sounds pretty good. We got 40 pounds of oil pressure. It's running by itself. I'm gonna come up front off. Lifter noise. She stinks. Well, she runs. Get my foot off the throttle here. Lifter noise is gone. It's so quiet. Okay. All right. Well, that'll do for now. I forgot that there was. Ooh. Yeah, there's no coolant in the radiator here. Okay. We got coolant in there. Might need to burp it a little bit, but we're gonna fire it up again. Sounded like a loose bolt or something. Oh, that's the old one. Huh. What the hell was that? Oh, maybe that's what that fucking sound was. Huh. Alright, guys. We got her all put back together. Just kind of bleeding the cooling system right now. Got a battery in it. It's fired up. Let's fire it up. Floppy stage 2 cam. Long tube headers, but it's still got a stock muffler, so it's not super loud, but ooh. Come on. What's going on here? I might need to give her a little throttle. She is untuned, so there she goes. Breathe. Nope. Okay. See if we can get her. See if we can get her to idle again. She was just idling just fine, but I get my foot off the throttle slowly. Ooh. There we go. There she is. She sounds good. Nice and healthy. Get some bubblies out of here. Get the bubblies out. She's idling. She sounds good. All right. Now we got to do break in the cam and the piston rings if she'll drive. But yeah. Anyways, it's alive. Thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate you following along and liking my videos and sharing them and telling your friends. I like it a lot. Anyways, thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Have a good one. Just getting the bubblies out there. She's choppy. Looks like you got about a half tank. A little bit less than half. Check engine light is on, only probably because we don't have any rear cats no more, so don't worry about that. Your tuner will probably handle that. We got good oil pressure. want to say maybe 45 psi, which is pretty normal at idle. So alternator's charging, coolant temp works. So all right, that'll do. Okay, are you still on? Oh yeah, you are. 8 minutes. Well, she runs, you guys. That's cool. It didn't explode. Thank you, Jesus. No, seriously, appreciate it. Yeah, that's the next step is to, I mean, we could break into cam or break into piston rings. If it'll run, I mean, it's untuned, so I don't think it's going to run long enough to break into piston rings. We could hold it at 2,500 RPM, fluctuating between 2,000 and 2,500 to just kind of mate the lifters and the cam together, but I don't know. Is this thing on? Yes, it is on. I'm talking to you guys, not myself. So, yeah, that's basically next steps. The customer's going to pick it up tomorrow, though, which my buddy's going to pick it up tomorrow, and he's going to take it over to the tuner. So I think they're just going to flash a startup tune on it real quick, and then they'll do all the break-in from there. I hope so. I might go along with him tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's all for tonight, I guess. So we'll see you in the morning, bright and early. Blowing O-rings. Nice. All right, that's gonna do it for this episode and this whole playlist and this whole build, because the Trailblazer is done. It is off to its new owner, or it's what? The owner came and picked it up today. We drove it out to the tuners right here in Longview, and they did an amazing job. I actually rode around with him. We had to street tune it because he doesn't have a two-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive dyno. But it was cool. We got to talking. I made a new friend, I believe, and I'm going to go through him for all my new tuning needs. But, yeah, that's it for this one. Now, we can get back to finishing up the Jeep. I got drive shafts for it, and just need some exhaust and a couple of other fine-tuned things. So, yeah, I didn't get too much video at the tuner. But I got a couple of little clips here and there, and I'll play them for you at the end of the video. But it sounds good. It runs good now. And yeah, that's all that matters. Customer's happy. So yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate you. Stay tuned for the next video. It's going to be more on the Jeep. If you've seen my other ones about the Jeep, we kind of cut it off. I've done a whole lot more since that last video on the Jeep. The reason I haven't posted the video yet is because I filmed about 10 hours worth of footage, and only to realize that there was no sound. So I kind of just gave up filming. It pissed me off, so I gave up filming. But we're doing a big time lapse, and we'll update you on progress in the next video. So stay tuned with that. We're gonna get this Jeep finished up, and then who knows what's next. So thanks for watching, you guys. Again, if you guys want to support the channel in any way, I'd appreciate it if you check out my website. It's www.thelsswapshop.myshopify.com. We got shirts like this one. Hold on. Shirt loading. We got shirts like this and many more. Tons of shirts, tons of merch. I also sell some cheap LS swap parts on there too. So if you're looking for an aluminum radiator, we got a couple options for you there. We also got some engine building tools, such as like a dial bore gauge, some micrometers and feeler gauges and stuff like that. We got throttle bodies, we got intakes, we got cheap wire harnesses for LS swaps. Yeah, so go check that out. I would really appreciate it. It helps me out. Yeah, and maybe someday we can rent a shop and get to doing bigger projects, more projects, having more fun, you know, throwing events and doing stuff like that, and most importantly, helping people that need help with their vehicles. That's my ultimate goal in my shop. Not only to do LS swap stuff, and not only to have fun, it's to help people that need help with their vehicles. Say if somebody doesn't have money to fix their vehicle, but they rely on their vehicle so that they can get to work, I'm here to help. If I had a shop and I was making money, you know, on the website or whatever, I would want to help. You know, I don't have to charge you labor. Just buy the part and I'll fix your car for you. That way you can get to work, and we'll call it good. So go check out the website. It helps me tremendously, and it helps me to move towards that ultimate goal of just helping people. You guys, help your neighbor. It costs you nothing. Maybe. Depends on what you're helping them with. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate you. Stick around for the next episode. Have a good one.